Beer wasn't just a drink in ancient Babylon. It was currency, medicine, and a path to divinity. For us, beer is a choice, a pleasure, sometimes a social lubricant. But walk with me back almost 4,000 years to the sun-baked plains of Mesopotamia, and you'll find beer was the very lifeblood of civilization, flowing through the veins of daily existence in ways we can barely imagine today. The people of ancient Babylon, those brilliant architects of law and language, didn't just casually enjoy a brew. Their entire world revolved around it. From the humblest farmer to the loftiest king, beer was an indispensable part of their diet, their economy, and their most sacred rituals. Imagine a world where the water from your well could be a death sentence, teeming with unseen dangers. This was the grim reality for many in ancient Mesopotamia. Clean, potable water was a luxury, often a scarcity, making every sip a gamble. But beer offered a solution. The brewing process, involving boiling water and fermentation, naturally purified the liquid, making it a far safer alternative. It wasn't just a beverage. It was a fundamental health necessity, crucial for survival in a harsh landscape. The staple ingredient for Babylonian beer was barley, a grain that thrived in the Fertile Crescent. This wasn't the crisp, clear lager we know, but a thick, often unfiltered brew, more akin to a liquid bread. It was a caloric powerhouse providing vital nutrition. Babylonian recipes, inscribed on clay tablets, detail a process that sounds almost like baking. They would make bapir, a lightly baked barley bread, which was then crumbled into water, left to ferment, and often sweetened with dates or honey. This bapir bread was the precursor, the foundation. The yeast, often wild and naturally occurring, would then work its magic, transforming simple grains and water into a drink that sustained an entire civilization. It was alchemy in a clay pot. Imagine the daily routine. Instead of coffee or tea, Babylonians, even children, would start their day with a bowl of this nutritious, low-alcohol beer. It wasn't about intoxication. It was about sustenance, hydration, and safe calories. The Code of Hammurabi, one of the earliest and most complete written legal codes, dedicates specific laws to beer. This wasn't a casual mention. It highlighted beer's economic and social significance, protecting its production and distribution. For instance, tavern keepers faced strict regulations, with severe penalties for watering down beer or charging excessive prices. The state understood that the quality and accessibility of beer were paramount to public welfare and order. Women, surprisingly to our modern sensibilities, played a central role in brewing. They were often the primary brewers, managing taverns, and holding considerable economic power through their craft. This was a respected, vital profession. The goddess Ninkasi, revered as the patroness of beer, was even celebrated in a hymn. This ancient poem, the Hymn to Ninkasi, is not just a prayer, but also a detailed recipe, preserving the steps of Babylonian brewing for eternity. Can you imagine a world where a goddess is dedicated solely to beer? It speaks volumes about its importance, not just as a drink, but as a divine gift, a symbol of prosperity and a connection to the gods themselves. Beer was also a form of payment. Laborers, from bricklayers to priests, often received part of their wages in beer rations. This liquid currency was tangible, valuable, and immediately consumable, meeting daily needs. For the construction of monumental structures like ziggurats, thousands of workers would have relied on these beer rations. It fueled their labor, kept them hydrated, and perhaps offered a moment of respite under the Mesopotamian sun. Beyond daily sustenance, beer played a crucial role in religious ceremonies. It was offered to the gods, poured as libations, and consumed during festivals to achieve altered states of consciousness, connecting mortals to the divine. The act of sharing beer was also deeply social. Taverns were vibrant hubs, places where people gathered, shared news, made deals, and forged community bonds. It was the ancient equivalent of our local pub, but with far greater societal significance. Even in death, beer remained important. Offerings of beer were made to the deceased, ensuring their sustenance in the afterlife. It was a bridge between worlds, a constant companion from birth through eternity. The sheer variety of beers was astonishing. Records suggest different types for different occasions. Strong beers for festivals, lighter brews for daily consumption, even specific beers for medicinal purposes. Yes, beer was also a form of medicine. Its nutritional value, combined with the mild sedative effects, made it a common remedy for various ailments. It was truly an all-encompassing substance. So the next time you raise a glass, consider the ancient Babylonians. Their daily lives, their economy, their very spirituality were inextricably woven with the art of brewing. It wasn't just a drink, it was civilization itself. From a basic need for safe hydration to a revered religious offering, beer's journey through ancient Babylon reveals a profound connection between a simple fermented grain and the complex tapestry of human culture. It truly was the golden brew that built a world. What other forgotten ancient crafts shaped civilizations in unexpected ways?